right, welcome back to another episode of Too Much Pod Tar, as our series This Day in Baseball History continues, as today is March 29th, and we look back on the history of this day, what happened, what big events happened, who was born, and stuff. So we've been doing this for a couple days now, and it's exciting to look back at certain things, and especially as you go back farther, you get some really interesting ones. Like baseball players getting traded for parks or letting snakes loose on a train. So definitely an interesting thing to look at.
That's gone. George Brett has just homered, and Billy Martin and the Yankees want the bat. Look at Martin.
Well, what you're talking about, Frank, is that he's got too much
Pod Tar.
way too much pod tar.
So let's start with this day. Last year, on this day, Paul Goldschmidt, who was signed Cardinals before the season, he got 4 hits, and that included 3 home runs. And that was his second game with the team. So he had a really good debut there.
Ended up not being one of his greatest seasons, batting average and everything, but
yeah,
definitely nice start to a new team. We'll see where it goes this year.
Yeah, I think
we'll be seeing him out of Arizona.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think he'll have a better season this year.
Oh, definitely.
I think the Cardinals still win the division.
I think it's definitely gonna be a close one. I think there's a good chance they'll take it, but it's gonna be a close one.
Yeah. It's like all the other teams didn't really do much in the off season.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I mean, the Reds did a lot, but
I was gonna say if anything, then the Reds shouldn't be a surprise seeing them up there. They could definitely be a challenge for that division now.
Definitely. And then another team debut in 2018 was Ginkara Stanton, who was traded to them in the offseason. And he had his first home run he had hit his first 2 home runs with them in his debut. So that was a memorable day to start off his career in pinstripes. Which, it's been hasn't been as good. Like the rest of that year, he did very, very well. He was one of the Yankees' best hitters the whole season. While Judge was out for a while, he kind of held the team down along with Andujar, and he ended up being injured last year a lot. He only just played whatever amount of games, 17 games or something like that. And he also was injured now in spring training. But hopefully I think this time off is going to help him come back and be ready whenever the season does start. So it's a plus.
How much he gets injured?
Yeah. Hopefully he's healthy all year.
Whatever year consists of.
Yeah. And it's going to be tough if they do end up having a doubleheader a week. It's going to be hard for him to play every day. They have doubleheaders.
It's like they expanded the roster knowing we're going to need an extra player.
I feel like they might have to expand into another one too.
They might.
Yeah.
It depends obviously on how they decide to go about things though.
Yeah. It's going to be weird. I mean, it's going to be exciting too at the same time because we might have baseball on Thanksgiving, but
imagine baseball on Thanksgiving.
Imagine the World Series on Christmas.
Literally, Game 7. December 25th.
That's if the Yankees were playing, that would be a good present.
Right?
Wouldn't even open my presents. I'd just be watching the Yankees. I don't care.
Baseball on Christmas, dreams do come true.
Only sucky thing would be it would probably be played in like Miami or something. Wouldn't be at Yankee Stadium or anything.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it doesn't matter this year though, because it's going to be the Tigers and the Pirates.
oh yeah. Oh wait, that'd actually be the Marlins, so we don't have to worry about that anyway. Because they'll play at their own park. They'll play at their park for the home games, but then for their away games, they go to like I don't know, Houston. No, imagine the World Series in Houston.
Oh my God.
Oh God. Oh, the Astros versus the Marlins.
That's a World Series right there.
That would be crazy.
What Twilight Zone is this?
I don't know. I think this is what happens when we have no sports on. We just go, we dive into big, giant Twilight Zones.
The whole NL East is expected to like go off this year, except for the Marlins. Marlins to the World Series.
Yeah. But back in 2006, outfielder Marquis Grissom announced his retirement. He played 17 years with 6 different teams. He was 2-time All-Star, 4-time Gold Glover. He had 429 stolen bases. He had 78 in 1992. Wow. That's a lot of stolen bases.
76 the year before.
Yeah. Wow. That is insane. And then he was one of 7 players with 2,000 hits, 200 home runs, and 400 stolen bases. Wow, that's some good company. Only 7 players. Wow. And then the year before that, Andres Galarraga, yeah, announced his retirement too. He was a 5-time All-Star, 2-time Gold Glover in 19 years, and he was a 288 hitter with 399 home runs and 1,425 RBIs. 2,257 games played.
Won the batting title, 93, batted .370.
Whoa. Wow.
In 120 games played.
That's crazy. .370, that's a high mark. Then back in 2001, Todd Helton signed a 9-year, $141.5 million contract with the Rockies, which made him the highest paid player in Rockies history. And then that in the year before that, Helton had a .372 average with 42 home runs and 147 RBIs, which made them do that extension. You hit that well, you're going to get an extension. Holy crap.
Yeah, it goes back to the kind of like we were saying the other day with Cabrera. The 8-year extension, after winning back-to-back MVPs, like, I could definitely see why you're giving him that type.
Yeah.
That made Helton the highest at the time because Arenado's is higher now, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Arenado's at like 250, 260.
Mm-hmm. I think Helton should be in the Hall of Fame. I think he's on the bracket? No, he's already on the ballot. I think.
Yeah, he's already on the ballot.
I think he should make it at some point.
We're gonna get the Colorado effect there, and
yeah, I hate that stupid thing though. Like, come on.
Thankfully, Walker made it in. Like, it's ridiculous. It took him that long.
Yeah.
It might take Helton a little bit, and that's going to be why. But I think he should make it, and I think there's a good chance he will. But I think it's going to take longer than most expect that it should for his caliber.
Yeah, in that 2000 season, he led the league in hits, doubles, RBIs, batting average, on-base percentage, slugging, and OPS. Holy crap. That's insane. He was only fifth in MVP voting that year. Never won an MVP. He was rookie. He was second in Rookie of the Year in 1998.
Second?
Yeah. Let's see, who won the MVP in 2000? I don't remember. Wait.
Oh. Kerry Wood was number 1.
2000. Wait, what Kerry Wood was what?
For the Rookie of the Year.
Oh.
NL Rookie of the Year went to Kerry Wood.
Yeah. Oh, Jason Giambi won the 2000 MVP.
Over him, yeah.
Wait a minute. What the fuck? I'm looking at this list. I don't even see him. Oh wait, never mind. I'm looking at the AL. No, it was Jeff Kent and
Jeff Kent.
Yeah. He had 125 RBIs, 33 home runs. But that's weird. Todd Helton was better. What the hell? Todd Helton had a higher. Yeah, he literally had he was literally tops in everything, like pretty much every category. So how the hell did he finish fifth? Like he was these freaking voters. He was even better than Barry Bonds. Like he literally led the league in like every category, and somehow, like except for walks, which was Barry Bonds with 117 walks. And Bonds was second in MVP. There was Piazza at Jim Edmonds and Helton. It's like, what? I don't get it.
It definitely partially has to go with how the teams ended up doing. Because Giants, I believe, I don't know, did they lead the league? I know they led the National League in wins. Yeah, they led the league in wins that year. And Mets went to the World Series that year with 94 wins during the season. They didn't win the division, and then the Rockies came in fourth in their division.
I think that whole thing is just stupid, that whole argument. I think they should just have two separate awards. Have one MVP, most valuable, most valuable to your team, to the best team.
Yeah, it comes down to that. Then it's where do we draw the line of most valuable player being who did the best, and how much you helped your team and all.
Yeah, it's
and then of course the Colorado effect.
That's probably a part of it too. That's why his numbers were imploded.
That will always be a part of it.
It makes no sense. Literally, there's really evidence in the pudding. Come on. Last year, it showed last year with DJ LeMahieu freaking going to the Yankees and still doing just as good as when he was in Colorado.
It's gonna show with a lot of these Colorado players.
Yeah. If
there's
no,
I want someone to say, I want to hear someone say that Helton really wasn't that good. I want to hear someone say that Arenado's really not that good. There's too much emphasis on the whole Colorado thing.
Yeah, there is. Well, when Arenado was inevitably traded, he's gonna show that that's just gonna be the same thing with him.
Yeah.
I think he'll probably be traded this. Maybe not this year, but I feel like they've been talking about it so long that he probably will end up being traded at least next off season.
Yeah.
I don't even know what's gonna happen. Like, what's gonna happen with the trade deadline this year with this shortened season, or whatever.
I think it's gonna come down to what they decide to do with the season.
Yeah.
The best bet will be they'll put it like the same to say percentage into the season. You know, I mean, like if it's 3/4 into the season, like they'll still try to make it 3/4 into the season type of thing. But
yeah, that would make sense.
It's one of those things. Honestly, who knows what they're gonna do?
I have no idea.
We could have a whole. we've slightly come off track, but we could have a whole episode on that one day.
But
the 7,000 things that can be done for this season.
Yeah. But moving forward, or actually backwards, because we're going back in time. So, 1997, Chipper Jones got his own chocolate bar. Molly's Chocolates announced the introduction of the Chipper Jones candy bar. And he was the first member of the Braves to get his own candy bar. So that's interesting.
That was actually something I didn't know. I didn't know he had his own candy bar.
No.
One of the greatest Mets killers of all time.
Yeah.
Loved playing at Shea Stadium so much, he named his kid Shea.
Wow.
That's a jab. I love him. I don't care. I love Chipper Jones. Yeah. But just deadly against the Mets.
Oh yeah. He was actually him and Derek Jeter were my two favorite players. Obviously Jeter because he's a Yankees fan, but outside of the Yankees, Chipper Jones was my favorite growing up.
I always hated loving players that were on rival teams.
Oh yeah.
He's one of those few guys that was always I hate you because of where you are and what you do. But always definitely one of my favorite players.
Yeah. That was me with Mookie Betts. But now I don't really have to I don't have to even hate to love him.
You don't have to have any, yeah.
He's on the Dodgers, so but he'll be a free agent though, and then maybe the Red Sox will re-sign him. I don't know. Unless the Dodgers just extend him or something. All right, and then I forgot to mention about 2000. They had their first opening day game ever played outside the U.S., Canada, or Mexico. They played first game in Japan, first series in Japan, or I guess it was just one game, or I don't know. But the Cubs beat the Mets in the Tokyo Dome, 5-3.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So they've been going over to play in Japan for 20 years or 19 years now.
Yeah, they go there pretty often now. It's also a Mets loss on opening day. It's very upsetting. Doesn't happen too often. If I remember correctly, the Mets I think have the best opening day record. It's how they like to reel us fans in. We're going to do good for the first 3 weeks of baseball. And then, then we'll implode.
Well, maybe you have better luck this year with a shorter season, if that's what it is.
it could go one of two ways. Either we could start the season out great like we normally do, but later, or we skip that whole good beginning because we're out of April and we just go straight into the implosion.
Oh, jeez. That would be something.
Oh.
That's like, I remember, like, Mark Teixeira would always have a terrible April, like every year for the Yankees. And then one year he got injured, I think, and then he was out for April, and then he came back in May, and then, but he still had a bad May too. It's like he was like just used to like being terrible for the first month or something.
That's what's gonna come down to. It's gonna be, are you really good in the first month, or are you really just good in April? Which one is it?
Yeah. Let's go back to 1984. The Yankees traded away one of their last key members of their previous World Series championship, and they traded Greg Nettles, the great third baseman to the Padres, for pitcher Dennis Rasmussen, and a player to be named later. And Nettles went on to hit 20 home runs and led the Padres to the 1984 World Series, which they ultimately lost. And that was the only World Series they've been to until 1998, when they got swept by the Yankees. So, I don't know if you have any thoughts on that trade.
It was just, honestly, it's one of those weird ones. It's old guy and closer to end of career.
Yeah.
Got the younger guy. I know, what's it called? Rasmus only played one season before that. Not even really. Pitched like 14 innings the season before. It's always interesting to see some of these how these trades turn out later on, though, for like trades like this where you have these older guys that were with a team for so long, but they're just getting to the end there, and see what this new young guy, like, what they actually could turn out into, because it's like that you're trading for someone with no MLB experience. So it's one of those, it follows a line of like what if type of things.
Oh yeah. Part of it was like George Steinbrenner's ego too, because like Nettles angered Steinbrenner because of something he wrote in a book. He criticized him in a book.
Mm-hmm.
So then that's when he turned around and traded him. It was like, oh, okay.
And Rasmussen only stayed on the Yankees for like 3 years.
Yeah.
Either way, though, like, Nettles was at the end of his career there pretty much. He bounced around after that.
Yeah. Another Yankees won 1975. Mel Stop Stottemeyer. He was ended up getting released by the Yankees after suffering from a torn rotator cuff. And during his Yankees career, he had a 164 and 139 record, 297 ERA, and 40 shutouts in his 11 years with the Yankees.
5-time All-Star selection.
Yep.
That ended his career there too.
Yeah, so sad to see him, have to leave, have to end his career with an injury like that. But
yeah, it's always sad to see like careers ended by injury. Desner one of those just longevity with the team. Like he spent his whole career with the Yankees.
Yeah. And then he wound up going back to being a pitching coach too.
Mm-hmm.
And last year, it was actually last January he died, January 13th. Yeah, he was definitely one of the best pitchers in the game at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And now his son is he's a pitching coach. Where is he? He played for the Royals. I don't even know where. I don't know what team he's a pitching coach for. No, Marlins. He's actually pitching coach for the Marlins now. So. Okay.
Young guys down there.
What's that?
They got a bunch of nice young guys down there, the Marlins.
Oh yeah. It's gonna take them a little while to get
good. Yeah. But they're gonna need a little bit, but they'll get there.
Yeah, they get around. Then back in 1954, the Cubs manager Phil Cavarretta, he was fired for giving a defeatist attitude towards the Cubs' chances that season, and he was fired in spring training. Became the first manager to be fired during spring training, and now, much to your dismay, the first manager to be fired before spring training became Carlos Beltran because of the whole the fallout from the Astros cheating scandal, which we talked about before coming on the show. So, I don't want to get you upset anymore, so we don't have to talk about it anymore.
I'm gonna just go into the corner quickly and I'm gonna just need a minute.
Damn.
No, it's we'll see how this all goes. I like who we got in there now.
Mm-hmm.
They did what they had to do.
Yeah.
It sucks, but it was all the right choice.
Oh yeah. Then we also got a really important birthday on this day. Denton True Cy Young was born in 1867. I don't know. And then I actually didn't even really know this, but his nickname Cy came from his cyclone-like pitching motion.
Yep.
And he wound up pitching to a 511, 316 record, 2.63 ERA, and he won 20 or more games 15 times, and he topped the 30-win mark 5 times over 22 years. Hall of Fame in 1937. So, yeah.
I mean, you gotta be somewhat decent if you get an award named after you.
Oh yeah.
just a little. He's just a little good.
Just a little bit. Yeah, this day has some really major importance there with that birthday. It would have been 154 today if he was still alive. Or no, 153, sorry. Oh, yeah, 154. So, that's March 29th in history. We'll be still continuing these every day for as long as we want until the season starts or whatever. So, I could keep listening, and hopefully we get baseball soon. You can never have too much pot tar.